Hey, this is Matthew Piscotti with an update on the drip garden and drip faucet, two of the quick little crypto protocols that I hopped into just to see if we could make some passive income. Start with a very small amount and see where that goes. So, the garden first. If you remember in the last update, I was at about 14 plants. These are actually compounding quicker than I thought they would, which is nice. I'm already up to 18 now, so it doesn't take much more than a little over a day. Might be like a day and a half almost to get ready for another planting. So I want to share that. Obviously, we're nowhere near where we would be wanting to collect daily or harvest. We're just going to keep compounding and see how quick this will climb. I wanted to share that as well as before we look at drip specifically. There's this nice little calculator here that you may find interesting if you're not already using it, and that's this dripscan.netify.app. I'll put the link in the description, but this garden scheduler is incredibly helpful, so you don't have to do as much guesswork. If you're not already using this, it's showing you how much the plants cost, which really isn't that important in the grand scheme, not in the long run. If we're compounding, we should be outrunning any losses on the plant price, and we're more concerned with how much LP we're getting a day anyway, and how much daily income we could be seeing. If the plants are cheaper, that just means we'll compound plants a little quicker. So this is a really cool calculator. It shows you when you should come back to check for harvesting your next plants. You can set a little schedule, set a little calendar reminder, whatever you need to do, so you're not sitting there staring at it. I find that really helpful. So for me, the next one will be on the 15th at 6:30 a.m. And we do want to get close to these times. If it's too early for you, say it's like at 2 a.m. and you don't want to get up and do that, then just go ahead and wait for the next planting, because remember that you do lose your seeds. This shows us how many seeds we would lose if we were to go ahead and plant, which I can't right now because I don't even have one ready. But say I had one ready and it started counting up again. If we miss it by more than, it depends on how many plants you have, but if you miss it by more than a couple hours, you could be bailing a lot of seeds off for no reason. So this is a great little calculator just to see where you're at daily and make sure you're getting more LP a day than you were previously. Whenever you compound this, whenever you add those up. Now on to drip. The only thing I've really done differently here, you would see a higher available. Just since the last update, I didn't like with the 10% tax on the deposit that this wasn't at least one. I wanted it to be at least one whole drip. So I did go ahead and claim, I think maybe $3, and went ahead and threw it back in the deposit as a rehydrate. Now I that wasn't actually advisable. You don't normally want to be claiming any this early, especially if you don't have a large amount in there. If you only have one, two, three, I don't know, up to probably 5, 10 drip. I mean, I would still keep hydrating as often as you can. You don't want to be claiming, especially if your available balance, like in my case, for only having one drip is anywhere around like $1 or $2. I mean, the gas fees are already going to cut into that, and it's silly. It's silly to claim. So I was just trying to get this over an even number of drip. Now remember, you are getting 1% daily on your deposits, and then the more that you rehydrate and put back into the deposits, the more this max payout's going to climb. This is 365% of your deposit. So the more that you hydrate and recompound into the faucet, into your deposits, the higher this max payout's going to climb, which is really cool. And this is 1% daily of drip, not of the dollar amount. So some days you'll see this accumulating a little slower. For instance, when I bought in, this was closer to about 130. Now, 100%, not financial advice, don't listen to me, but in my opinion, I am not worried about this at all, about the little bit of a price drop. And the reason for that is because the large number of other projects being started in the animal farm and in the drip ecosystem, people may be claiming a little more often the higher rollers that do already have a large number of deposits. They're already at that point when they can claim. I'm guessing that they're claiming more. They're pulling more out of the faucet area I they I don't think they're putting them in the garden. I think that's also why the garden's falling a little bit as well, as far as return or the plant value. But this is where a lot of this is going right now. You can see this total locked value in the farms climbing. You're going to see that. You can see how much they're paying out. You can see how much is stacked up in the vault, kind of showing some of the sustainability here of the farm. But I think a lot of capital is going this way, and it's not coming out that freely yet. So it's kind of hovering over here, and following the Telegram chats and everything else. A lot of people aren't getting the return they would like to here just yet. And I think that's on purpose. This is still getting set up. This is not, well, it is set up, it is released, but it's working its way up to that level that you want it to be at. So we're just getting more, I think they're getting more people in here, collecting more capital, and the payout is restricted on pigs and dogs at the moment. So this is a really cool feature actually as well. If you're not familiar with this on the drip, the animal farm, this actually adjusts, and this is in the code. I believe this happens automatically, but these payouts adjust based on the price of the tokens, based on the value. So if they're falling, if the value's falling a good bit, they're going to come down to restricted or deflationary, and then the opposite will happen where you could be getting more of a payout. And this is just to help the sustainability, help this thing going. And this is a good update as well. While I'm here, I did go ahead and throw in about $50 into this drip BUSD. This will be earning pigs. Obviously, this is a very small amount comparatively to what other people have in here. So these pigs are returning really, really slowly, but we're also on this restricted level at the moment. So that's the reason for that. And then to kind of hedge a little more bets in another direction, I did also throw into this pool about 25. Again, very small amounts. You have a much higher return the more you can put in there. I mean, same percentage return, of course, but you'll see these things accumulate much faster than they are for me at the moment. I expect all of this to ramp up quite a bit, though, once this gets going. 4X, the developer, did say that there's a new game coming out. They're going to be releasing a different game that uses tokens from this ecosystem. So that's exciting, and we'll have some cool changes there. And if you're not familiar with all of this, with the farm side, I'm guessing if you've been in the garden, you've been kind of poking around or following the telegrams. But basically, you're trying to get dogs. You're trying to get dogs to turn them into pigs, and then pigs are the ownership type token, which it kind of explains here, where you basically become partial owner of the platform by staking your pigs. And then based on that percentage that you're in with pigs, you will get a reward from, I believe, that vault that's on the other page, but we'll have to verify that. So you put them in the pig pen. So the pools are just single token, and then you have these staking farms, and then you can earn pigs or dogs with these. And the dogs can also be used to get more pigs. Here you can see where you can stake just dogs to get pigs. And then you put them in the pig pen, and this is where you get your BUSD, which you can then put back into the garden or, well, whatever else you want to do with it. Hopefully back into the garden or farms, and just kind of keep that going on, keep it raising. But yeah, that's why I think a lot of this is a little lower right now. I'm not worried about that. What will happen is that when you rehydrate, when you compound some of these, you'll actually be having that happen faster the lower this drops. And if you wanted to just throw some new capital at it, it'll be faster because of that lower rate. So I think that's actually really exciting, and we'll see where that goes from there. But yeah, that's my update. Small amount, still just climbing.